So there is a whole trend going around about analog bags and kind of making it so that you don't doom scroll. And I thought it'd be interesting to show you what I carry with me every day as a writer with a day job. Hi, my name is Dawn Dalton. I am an independent author with a day job, and this topic has been on my mind for a hot minute, but considering I just came back from a unplanned road trip, and all I really had to do to continue to write while I was out was to grab my backpack. I thought now would be a great time to show you what I carry with me as an author pretty much every single day, because this backpack does go with me to work. It's a little twist on the analog bag trend. If you don't know what that is, a lot of people are starting to make bags that is like the analog versions of stuff that you can do on your phone so that you don't get swept into doom scrolling. So bringing along an actual book, having an old school iPod or a CD, like a Discman, and like crochet projects and stuff. And I thought that it was a really interesting idea. As a child of the 80s and 90s, I, always used to carry a book on me. I did have the no skip Discman, which that's a lie, it skipped. I did have an iPod Shuffle when they first came out. Like, I've done that, and for the most part my bag is an analog bag, with the exception of the tech I need as a writer, which includes cords for my phone. So I thought it would be interesting to show you what's in my bag. I apologize that we are on the floor in my bedroom and I look like a hot mess. I am training for a marathon, and so I'm really sweaty and gross. My fingers are still a little swollen from going out and training today, and I just figured it was a little bit easier to sit on the floor and dig into the bag than to really do like a huge setup. So let's get started. First things first, obviously my car keys and my wallet live in my bag. I'm not gonna show those because there's no point. I also keep hygiene products in there that, again, you don't need to see. But I also have a small first aid kit in there that is kind of a holdover from when I coached obstacles, because you always inevitably needed a Band-Aid and the gym was usually out. So other than that, this top pocket is, I'm gonna call it my tech pocket. This is where all of the cords live, all of the spare batteries, my headphones, all the stuff that I need to charge my phone, keep me running even when I don't have an outlet nearby. I also keep a glasses cleaner in this cute little puppy. He's adorable. And then in the mornings for work, I do toss in my vitamins for the day, just so that I can remember to take them while I was at work. Another big thing that I keep in here is my pencil case. And I really like this one. It does have an expandable part to it, but this is where I keep extra pens. I usually keep a Micron in here so that if I wanted to update my day planner, I can. I have spare ink for the pens that I am currently using. And then I also keep some washi tape, more pens, more pencils, and a metal ruler. The metal ruler is in there to actually cut the washi tape. But really, most of what makes this a writer bag, besides obviously the pencil case, is what I keep in the main pocket. And I keep a lot in this sucker. first things first. My favorite thing in the world is this spiral notebook case, I guess, folio thing that I think my parents got for me off of Amazon. It holds, right now it's holding 3, but it usually only holds 1 spiral notebook that actually has a slot to go into. I like to keep like all my character notes, a spare thing of Post-it notes, and whatever color pen I'm working with. Right now I'm working on a couple of stories, drafting, and when I kind of settle into just working on the one, I will actually fully kit that out to be whatever story I'm currently working on. But right now, because I finished drafting the first book in a new series and I'm working on the second book, as well as starting to process all the stuff in my head for the 4th book in the House That Gaming Built series, I just sort of threw everything in there. Next thing, I guess it'd be helpful if I could show you the stickers, is my laptop. I call this the Phalite Writer. I got it earlier this year as a replacement for the little laptop that was slowly just going the way of the dodo bird. It was slow, it was painful, and with the fact that I travel for work and I am trying to do a lot more outside of the house, especially with the puppy keeping me from actually being able to focus, I needed a new laptop, and so this is the one I got. Next major thing in my bag is my day planner. This is probably the last year I do a Happy Planner Big. It's just a little bit too much for what I use it for. So I'm already thinking about what I'm gonna do for next year, if it's a bullet journal or going down to a classic size Happy Planner. I'm not 100% certain just yet. And as much as I want to jump with both feet and move into something smaller, more compact, that travels better, I already committed to this year to using the Big, so I need to keep up with it. The really cool thing with this, I added a magnetic pen holder, so I do keep a mild liner in here to fill in my trackers. I do have a lot of stickers and notes for other things. I do need to clean it out and go through everything and get it all organized. But that is not a today project. That is a future me project. The next big thing that I carry with me is my Commonplace notebook. I started using a Commonplace notebook to keep track of my to-do lists and everything back when I was bullet journaling, because there just wasn't enough space in my weeklies to have a full to-do list plus journal plus everything else that I was doing in it. And so I have really loved this size. This is a 5 Below notebook. I love the fact that it has the hard covers, which means I don't need a desk to be writing notes on it. I think it's just about the perfect size for, like, 1 page is enough for basically a week of to-dos. But if I have an idea for a story, I don't have to use 20 pages to do what 3 pages would actually do in here. And so I think I do have a second one of these, so when I use this one up, I have the next one to be able to go to. I have my nonfiction book and the notebook that I take notes in. Right now I'm going through Too Loud, Too Bright, Too Fast, Too Tight, just because when I go to conventions, like, I get really defensive when there's a lot of people, so I am trying to go through all of the books that I already have on my bookcase in the hopes of getting some of those back out the door when they aren't as good as I hope they would be, or getting them put over with the books that I do keep for nonfiction. I also in here have a journal. This is just so that when I have a thought that works towards like my word of the year, this year being transformation, I can journal about it. I can think through what the next steps are for, you know, what projects I'm working on, how I'm pushing myself forward into the me that I want to be, which includes obviously getting talked into doing a marathon because I am crazy. And then the bottom of this ends up being a collection of just randomness. So I do have the cord for my laptop, and not one but two things of fingerless gloves. With us going into summer, these do need to be taken out. I will keep the Peter Pan ones in the bag for the summers because even though it's hot out, sometimes the library is really cold when I go, or the coffee shop is really cold. And other than that, I do have a little U Rock that has been living in my bag since I went to the bookstore and ended up getting this as a free gift. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little look at the systems I have with me every single day to keep me sane and moving forward as a independent author. If you've enjoyed this look into my bag, be sure to feed the algorithm, boop that like button, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.